It says, in heavy fog, the creek was eerie, rippling out of nowhere and vanishing into nothingness. That's actually kind of what this little section does, you know? It sort of ripples out of nowhere, you know, and everything, and then vanishes. It's just kind of nice. We get this one little slice here to enjoy. This is our playground. This is our resource. And our resource is not just the little bit of sand that we walk on to get to the waves, it's everything that actually feeds into it, right? So everything upstream of us is what matters.
Close your eyes.
Yeah, that is nice.
But these rocks.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to introduce you to Michael Stewart.
The rocks on the beach, right down in Baker, right back there.
Michael's a San Francisco resident. He's a member of the Surfrider Foundation and very active in the local chapter, and he is a surfer. He's actually a really, really good surfer. Yeah. Michael lives in the Presidio, a neighborhood in San Francisco that is home to Lobos Creek. Lobos Creek is actually the last free-flowing creek in the city. Ansel Adams grew up there, and there's definitely some beautiful spots, but most of it's trashed.
When I first came here, this was all like all the stuff that we had just, kind of walked through, right? And all dirty and sleeping bags and trash and jugs and that kind of stuff. And
so what Michael did is, it's his neighborhood, so he went out and found a little stretch of the creek and cleaned it up. The guy worked for a year on a 40-foot stretch of the creek to make it beautiful again. And sure, he had some friends help him out, but this is basically one guy doing this whole thing.
Sometimes it's daunting when you realize how much work has actually gone into it so far, and you've really just sort of rehabilitated 40 feet, right? So what's that? How long is it? The creek is about a mile long. Yeah.
So you got about 5,200 feet.
Yeah.
I apologize in advance if I'm getting any ass shots. That's kind of inevitable. When you're bent over,
As a surfer, it's absolutely vital. When it comes down to it, many of the best breaks are right in front of river mouths, right? And also, if you're surfing out in the water, having good water coming out of that creek is incredibly important because you're essentially swimming around in that soup.
So what do you think of that? A surfer takes the responsibility on himself to clean up a creek, knowing that it's going to help keep the surf spot clean for all of us. And he did it the right way. He planted local plant species. He worked with the park services. if this isn't grassroots activism, I don't know what is.
The overall hope is that we're going to really sort of make something that other Surfrider chapters who also have creeks up and down sort of Northern California, like down in San Mateo and up in Marin, that they can take this as an example of what they can do to start affecting the water quality and the salmon runs and all that kind of stuff on their creeks.
A little reading material. Bridget Jones' diary, I believe.